OMGs, boys, girls, in-betweeners, how you doing? Red Gamer here, and whew, it's been a day, hasn't it? It's been a hot minute. Today was the day, if you didn't know, if you've been living under a rock, today is the day that Capcom brought down the much anticipated netcode patch. Now, we've been told, kind of in vague terms, now that you look back on it, that Capcom was aware that the game had been modded, that people had been modding netcode, and as a result of that, they had been creating a very uneven and dangerous, let's be honest, experience for a lot of people, in that in an effort to make their experience better, they were making other people's experiences worse. And that's the problem with the first patch. There was two patches that I'm aware of. The first patch just had a devastating effect on anyone who was not using the patch. Those were good times. You definitely racked up a lot of blacklists when you were playing against those people. Because basically, like, it would run fine for them, but for you, it was the laggiest, most horrible, jankest match you could possibly expect, even if the game set was 5 bars. So that was a big problem. Then a week or two later, a updated version of the patch came out from a different user, and it was called the Fluffy mod, if I recall correctly. And that one was a lot better. It basically kept most of the same advantages from the first patch, but it didn't screw over the other person, effectively. And I did use that patch as well, and it was quite a good experience. Now, Capcom did say, Ono did tweet out that they were aware of what was going on, and it came at kind of a critical time because they're doing their online tournaments this year, obviously. They're doing their beta tests of tournaments, things like that, so it came at a really bad time for them. And as a result, they rushed out a netcode fix that came out today. Now, when we heard about this, like I said, we all kind of assumed it was going to be a netcode fix. And that was what we were led to believe from Ono's tweets. Now, obviously, there's a little bit of a loss in translation somewhat there, so we can give them a little bit of slack for that, for a little bit of lack of transparency or lack of clarity in what they were trying to do. They just said that they're aware of the issues and they're looking into it. So when the patch came down today, we were all expecting, like, great, it's going to be like a new netcode, it's going to be fantastic. What happened was something of a dumpster fire. People logged on to Street Fighter and found out that if they had the patch installed, the game crashed. Not exactly the best communication there to start things off. If you have the old patch installed, either of them, your game crashes, from what I've been told. I haven't tried it myself yet. That's the word going around the interwebs right now. And that obviously set off a lot of knee-jerk reactions, from myself included, because we all thought, holy shit, they didn't fix anything, they just broke the game if you were using the patch. You had to uninstall the patch just to get the game to fire up. Now, that we've since discovered that wasn't all they did. Some people have dived into the code. They've dived into the XE for Street Fighter and had a look at some of the code. And it turns out that there have been modifications to the netcode. And effectively what they've done, and now keep in mind this only happened a few hours ago, so we don't know everything yet. We don't have all the facts. We're just going off what people's impressions are, people who may or may not have a limited understanding of how this works. I don't know. I'm just basically passing on to you what I've found out. And effectively what they've done is they've moved the files from basically being a part of the Street Fighter data files and whatnot into the XE. So you can't basically mod Street Fighter anymore without modding the XE, which is the issue. Now that said, it also does not prevent you from using costume mods or anything else like that. That's been confirmed that you can still use other mods. Those are fine. You just can't use netcode mods. So thank God for that, because if they broke mods altogether as like a knee-jerk reaction, some people would be pissed, including myself. Modders, there'd be a whole community up in arms. So Capcom at least had the good sense not to do that and just bring the banhammer down on everyone. Now, going into the code and looking at it from what I've seen, from what I have read, it would seem that Capcom have effectively tried to emulate, to at least some extent, what the Fluffy mod did, the second patch did, in the sense that it basically, rather than having what was previously a global umbrella, effectively, for pings, so it didn't matter what ping you had, or what you're connected to effectively, there was a range of frames that you were allowed to basically be ahead or behind of your opponent in terms of rollback. And that was where a lot of the issues lay. Now, when people go into the code and have a look at it, they can see there are now parameters for that. So if you have 5 bars, you are X amount of frames ahead. If you are 4 bars, you are like 6 frames ahead. If you are 3 bars, you are 10 frames ahead, so on and so forth. I'm just picking numbers out of a hat here. Those aren't the actual numbers, but you get the idea. So they've basically tried to limit and try to refine how much latency or how much rollback there actually is, depending on the quality of the connection. Now, whether this actually works or not is still for debate, because like I said, it's only been out for a few hours. So a lot of people are saying that it makes no difference. A lot of people are saying it's worse. A lot of people are saying it's better. I haven't had a chance to try it because I've been building my new PC. You want to see my new PC? Yeah. It's all shiny. It's got rainbows and shit. It's amazing. So, so that's what I've been doing, which is why I haven't had a chance to test this myself. But I did want to get this out there in case you were confused about what's been happening with the netcode patch and the effects of it. So I'm hoping it's going to be better. I'm sure more information will come to light in the coming days in terms of whether we can all agree that it's better or whether it's worse or whether it's indifferent, and whether what they did actually had any effect or not. So it would appear, as I said, there was initial fears they hadn't done anything. That's not true. They have done something, but as we all know, they tried to do something in the past. They tried with Arcade Edition to change the netcode and fix it, and actually made it worse. So it wouldn't be the first time they've broken the netcode without even trying, effectively. So let me know what you think in the comments below. Have you played the game since the patch came out? Have you had your experiences? What are your experiences? Are connections that you play that are normally bad better? Is your whole experience better? Is it worse? Is it different? Let's try and get this nailed down and see how it goes. But that's it, guys. Hope that's informative. Hope that helps clear things up in terms of what's happening with the netcode. And that's it from me right now. So, like I said, let me know in the comments below. And in the meantime, kisses, hugs, belly rubs. I will see all of you very soon.